Hi everyone. Today we are going to read another poem, and this is something that you will relate, directly. You will relate to with yourself very nicely. So this poem is about childhoods. Most of us had had this phase in our life, and probably we had enjoyed the most when we were children. We were not adult. And since we started our adulthood, we had a lot of responsibilities, we had several things. So this poem is just a reflection, which is done by the author. Reflection means it's a way of thinking about something. He's introspecting something. And what is he introspecting? That is something that we're going to read now. When did my childhood go? Was it the day I ceased to be 11? Cease here means stop. So the poet is actually thinking, he's actually wondering, when did his childhood go? Of course, poet is now not a child anymore. That is why he's asking, when was the day when exactly my childhood passed? Like, when did I turn into adult? What was that particular day? Life goes on. You will never say that now I am a teenager, now I'm a teenager, now I'm an adult or something like that. Time just flows by. But now the poet is having a little time to introspect and find out where has the time gone actually. What happened and why, he wants to know the exact day and date. So he's saying that was it that day when he stopped to be 11? That means when he just turned into a teenager, maybe 13, 14, and 15. So the poet is saying, was that the day when I stopped being a child? Was it that time I realized that hell and heaven could not be found in geography? Now, what happened when we are in a younger age, we believe everything that is told to us. When somebody tells us that this is a place, we imagine that that place exists. But sometimes that place is just imaginary. It has no relevance or it has no significance in real life. Similarly, poet used to feel that hell and heaven is actually a part of the geography, or you can actually locate hell and heaven on the map. So he said, when I had this realization that it is not possible, was it that the day when I lost my childhood, when I realized that hell and heaven are nothing, just imaginations, and they do not exist on the physical map? They may exist somewhere else, but at least not on the globe. And therefore could not be, was that the day. So now again, the poet is saying that maybe it was that day when he feels he has lost his childhood. So here you can say, you can just write down that the, so T and T, they are known as repetition. You will find a lot of repetition. This is something that you have to find out. For example, here, was it the time, right? So there are many alliterations here. When did my childhood go? Was it the time I realized that adults were not all they seemed to be? They talked of love and preached of love. Preached here means advocate, but did not act so lovingly. Was it that day? So now the poet here is saying, first of all, love and love, it is I'm sorry, this is not repetition, it is alliteration. I may have written repetition by mistake. Same sound being repeated are called alliteration, and same word repetition. So here love and love is being repeated, it is repetition. Now the poet is saying maybe that day was the last day of my childhood when I realized that adults are fake. When we grow up, we most of us do the same thing. We pretend to be something else and something on the other side or the inside. We do not exactly show what we are, what we truly are. So he's saying maybe it is that, maybe it is that day when I realized that the adults are not what they pretend. They talk and they preach that everyone should follow love and respect, but they themselves don't follow it. Maybe it was that day when he understood that adults are really bad and they pretend and they are not real. Maybe it was that day when they realized that the childhood has ended. When did my childhood go? Was it when I found my mind was really mine? See, this line, when I found my mind was really mine, means that he was able to process his own thoughts. I will explain you how. Mine and mine. Here it is again alliteration. To use whichever way I choose. Now, what happens is, children, it is usually said that once you start thinking on your own and you start thinking sensibly, it is that time when you act mature, or it is act when people tell you that you have turned into a mature person. So the poet is saying that when he started making his own thoughts, processing his own thoughts, was it that time when he turned out to be an adult? producing thoughts that were not those of other people. That means he produced his own thought, but my own and mine alone. Was that the day? So the poet is saying, maybe it was that day when I lost my childhood. Where did my childhood go? It went to some forgotten place that's hidden in an infant's face. That's all I know. Infant, as you all know, is a baby, like a newly born baby, right? So now the poet is very upset and he is missing his childhood. And after, rethinking twice or thrice, he's not able to find out where did he lose his childhood. Then he says that maybe he lost that childhood when he was just an infant. This infant faces the poet only. Poet is talking about himself. That when he was just an infant, it was only then when he was a child. After that, he has lost his childhood and the situation or day is not known to him. So I think this was a very easy poem, nothing much difficult. It is, I hope it must have been clear to you. Keep sharing, keep subscribing, and keep liking. Thank you.